Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be trying to answer the question, are the bass in yet? It's that time of year now, sort of getting into April, sort of late spring, when the bass come back to our shore in numbers, and I'm going to try and catch them today with the help of my brother Morgan, who's behind the camera there. We're out on this beautiful sib, the Excel Volaire 3.9 meters, and we're going to have a real good day at it. The weather's pretty good, it's just starting to clear up now, the wind's dropping right off, the sun's coming out to shine. We're on a massive spring tide today, and we're going to see how far out we can get. We might try and push the sort of norm a bit today and get out as far as we can, as far as the conditions will allow, but we're going to be focusing on lures and trying to get some bass. It's going to be an exciting day, I think, and who knows what it's got in store for us. Let's get on with it. Well, we're on the southeast coast of Cornwall today, and we're in the lovely seaside village of Looe here. We're on the river right now. There's a few slipways that provide great access for small boats like sibs around high water. It is tidal dependent, and this just brings us out on a really nice bit of coast. We've got all sorts of reefs nearby. We've got ones inshore that can provide good fishing when the weather's a little bit too stirred up to get further out, but fingers crossed we're going to go out to the Eddystone today. You've seen me go out there before a few times, and it's always been worth the trip. It's 13 miles out, if you didn't know, which is quite a way to go on a sib like this, but we've made our preparations. I've got 12 litres of fuel on the main tank just for your information, and an extra spare 5 litres, and I know I'll only use about 10 litres from past experience to get there and back, so a good third in the reserve. Well, here we go. We've gotten out a little ways now, and the conditions are lovely. This is exactly what we were hoping for. I actually thought there's a bit of a stiff breeze, bit of a northerly breeze coming offshore here, and I thought that would kick it up a bit, and I'm sure as we get out we'll start to see it a little bit, but as we've had southerlies earlier in the week, that northerly seems to have cancelled it a bit, sort of, you know, gone against what it was already, the swell, and it's just flattened it off, and it's lovely. So a little quick peek around the boat, because it is a new one to me, this Volaire, and here you can see me and Morgan. We have got so much space on this boat, it's hard to show, but we can sit, what is nice, we can sit like this next to each other, loads of space, and it's just riding in this, very nice. And I'll talk a little bit about how she handles today, because I would consider this like a proper trip out, going 13 miles out, can really get a feel for the boat, the tracking and the sort of way it jumps up on the plane and how it handles little bits of chop. Well, here we go, the Eddystone lighthouse here. What a lovely ride out it's been, and if we're going to catch a bass anywhere, it's going to be here, isn't it? Infamous for its bass fishing here, the Eddystone lighthouse. We've got loads of sort of shallow rocky structure right in close, and then a nice bit of reef sloping off. So we're going to focus our efforts at first right in close to the rocks, casting things like this crazy paddle tail here. This is in the pearl blue with the 30-gram head, so a nice lure for work in the depths all around. And then we're going to move off into deeper water. We're going to try the shallows for bass if there's no bass, and move into the deep water, try for pollock, that sort of thing. But it's just lovely to be out here. It's been a good 6 months or so since I've been out here at the Eddystone, and it's got some sentimental value for me, this place. It's just something beautiful about it, being out here this far off. We're 13 miles out now on this little sib, and people think that, you know, you're a bit nuts for going and doing something like this, but you know what? It's no different from being on any other boat, really. It's got an engine and it's very stable. What could you want? We've got all the safety kit and we're going to have a good time. Let's get some lures out there and see what we can find. Hopefully a couple of silvers. Well, here we go into the first fish of the day, and I think it's looking silver. It is. Here we go. It's only a little one. It's only a tiddler, guys. But we've answered the question. So we like the sea coming towards us. Beautiful bar of silver. I'm just going to lean over here and grab it. I don't really want to get the spikes on the dorsal fin too close to the deck here, so I'm just going to try and handle it over the side of the boat, this little fish. It's only a schoolie. But that's made me very happy. That's tiny, but annihilated that, that crazy paddle tail. Tiny fish, but an Eddystone bass nonetheless, and he'll grow to get much bigger. We'll just pop that lure out. Pop the lure out, there we go. Just like that. And send it on its way. Proper job. And here we go, my brother's into a fish. on the crazy paddle tail there. It's a little bit sort of sparse and in between at the moment, these fish. Every now and then, every other drift we seem to be hooking into one, but there's loads down there. We can see them on the sounder. There's loads, and we've actually seen them under the surface here. It's just trying to trick them into taking the lure. That's the difficult part, and you've done a good job there, Marvin.
Yeah, he's finally got on.
There you are. Yeah, it's waking up a bit. Hey, that's a good fish, that is, buddy. Yeah. That's a good fish.
It's not bad.
That's a great fish.
Oh, it's not bad,
oh, here we go. Yeah, beautiful. Just seeing those sort of silvery dark colours come up is something special. It's turning the boat in the tide. Yeah, there you go. That's a great fish there, mate. That's probably your PB,
yeah,
isn't it?
That is a PB, that is, yeah.
There we go. This is why we come out here. It's just something special. He's woken up a bit at the last minute there. Oh, that's a nice fish. Do you want the net for that?
Yeah.
Let me try and... Oh, there we go. Just going to get him into the net. Ah, lovely. There we go. In the net, and then we can control him there at the net. Just let him calm down a bit. Just hold him like that, yeah. Yeah, just hold him in the net until you grab him in the gill. Just doing this to avoid the spikes on the deck. Get a nice big net, grab hold of them in the gill, and then you've got control. That is a stunner, mate. Well done. PB?
That is probably a PB.
That is, I've never seen you catch something before.
Not a bass.
Yeah, you're the schooling man when it comes to bass. And there we go on the crazy paddle tail. Stunning fish, like I said, just a job of tricking them into taking, and that's a good one. Well done, mate. Really, really happy for you. So basically what we're doing here is drifting the length of the reef. There's a rock that sticks up in the middle here, and it's just about getting exposed now because the tide's on the way out. It's ebbing, and we're drifting along. We're only in 12 meters of water, and we're working the crazy paddle tails. I've switched down to a 20 gram in the khaki pattern, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just casting the lure out, casting it up tide, and then just letting it sink. I'm not doing anything now. I'm just holding the rod and letting the line sort of bow a bit, just because if it's tight then you're pulling the lure and it's not having a chance to sink as much. Just letting it sink, and it's a slow, steady retrieve. That's all it is, just like that. And the reef here undulates up and down, but we want to try and get the lure working as much tidal flow as we can, as the bass are more likely to pick it off there where the tide really rips through around the structure. It's proving a little bit finicky at the moment, the fishing. There are fish here, we know there's fish here, but getting them to take the lure is a challenge in itself. And that's it. You're just trying to work out what retrieve or colour pattern they're after at the moment. And every now and then we're getting lucky with them. But it's a beautiful day to be out here. The wind's changed direction completely. It's gone from northerly to southerly, so it's swung right round. But that has picked some really nice flat conditions. So hardly any swell at all. Well, we were just commenting on how we can see bass literally everywhere below the boat, and there's a huge shoal following this one in. It's just mental when it's like this. You can actually see the fish in the water following the lures, and I'll show you what they're like. They're not a bad stamp of fish. I'd probably go as far as to say that they're schoolie still, but let's see if I can just flip this one. That sort of size, and there's so many of them down there, and they're just inhaling these crazy paddle tails. Such a good, easy lure to use for this sort of fishing. Lovely. Well, we've come to the end of the fishing session out here at the Eddystone, and I've just added an extra 5 litres of fuel to the main tank, and yeah, it was pretty much halfway, so that's the third in sort of separate, and then we've got a full tank to get us back on. But it's amazing to think that we can come out here to this beautiful location and get some really epic fishing done, all for 5 litres of fuel. It's just, you know, fantastic. That's what these sibs are all about, you know, coming out on days like this. And you can push it out, you can come out 13 miles, and it's really enjoyable. You've just got to get over that sort of that mental block of, oh, it's too far out for a sib. No, not at all. We've had a fantastic time and caught lots of fish for it, and I think we've answered that question nicely. Are the bass in? They certainly are here at the Eddystone. We've had a good view, nothing of any major size, although Morgan did have a nice one earlier, and I'm really glad that he managed to beat his PB, so well done, mate. Let's chuck back in. It's going to be a nice gentle ride back with the wind behind us and the sun setting on our necks and backs. It's going to be lovely. Well, there we have it, back at the slipway after what has been a really enjoyable day. The Volaire behind me there has performed faultlessly. It's got us out to the Eddystone and back in great comfort. Used about 10 litres, 11 litres of fuel, so really not bad going at all, considering the distance we've covered and the fishing we've had. And I've answered the question, yes, the bass are in, which means I'm going to spend a lot more time targeting them and focusing on them from now on, trying to get a nice big one. But yeah, it's been thoroughly enjoyable, and I hope it has for you too. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like and comment, it all helps keep the channel going. I'm producing more videos, and there'll be one very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.